You know this feeling. Somebody speaks Korean to you, you understand the question, you know the answer, but then your brain says, wait, how do I say this again? So you think in English first and then translate to Korean. And then, like, no, wait, I don't know the word. Just say something or say anything. And they look at you still waiting, and nothing comes out. This is what most people who come to me go through. They say things like, why can I never just speak? I have been studying Korean for so long. I've been coaching Korean learners for years, and I can tell you right now, a lot of people feel this way. And here's the crazy part. It has nothing to do with how smart you are, and it has nothing to do with your character, personality. There are five very specific reasons, and every single one is fixable. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to fix that. Most Korean learners think speaking fluency is the result of knowing enough Korean. So they study more, they learn more words, they review more grammar, and then somebody asks a simple question and they think, I know this. I literally know this. Why is nothing coming out? You do not freeze because your Korean is not good enough. You freeze because your speaking brain just hasn't had enough practice. Here's exactly what happens inside your brain when you freeze. Somebody asks you a question in Korean, you hear it, you understand it, but then this happens. Okay, what is the answer? Let me think in English first. Okay, I know what I want to say, but how do I say all of this in Korean? Wait, what is the word again? What was the grammar again? The other person is waiting and waiting and waiting, right? And it starts to feel very awkward. You're not freezing because your Korean is bad. You're doing three jobs at once, which is understanding, translating, and speaking. And that is way too much. Language researchers call this automatic processing. So when a language is truly fluent, the steps collapse into one. You hear something, you respond, no translation in the middle. The only way to build that direct connection is to practice going from Korean straight to Korean, not Korean to English to Korean. Try this right now. Look around you and say what you see in Korean. Then one simple sentence about it. Do not think in English first, just say the first Korean word that comes to you. It feels uncomfortable, but that's your brain building a direct connection for the first time. Most Korean learners have a habit that feels very safe but actually makes phrasing much worse. Before they speak, they think, let me prepare the full sentence first. Is it 이에요 or 예요 here? Okay, I think it's 이에요 in this case. No, wait, that doesn't make sense. I need to think again. And then the moment is already gone. Native speakers do not build the whole sentence before they start. They start speaking and their brain finds the next word while their mouth is already moving. The sentence builds as they go. And this is something babies do naturally. They say the first word they have and add from there. So, 엄마, 밥, 배고파, something like that. It is not perfect at all, but it works. And the sentences gets longer because the habit of starting is already there. The fix is very simple. Start before you're ready. Say 오늘 아침에 저는 out loud right now, and you don't know what comes next, but that's fine. Your brain will find something. The practice is the starting. Think about a sentence you say every day in English. Something like, I'm tired, I'm studying, what time is it? You never phrase on those, right? Because you never think. You don't think like, okay, how do I say I'm tired, subject first, and then am and tired? It doesn't happen. It just comes out naturally. It's not because those words are easier, but because you have said them thousands of times. So your brain has a fast lane for those sentences. They load instantly. But your Korean sentences do not have the fast lane yet. So they are still loading slowly. And under pressure, slow loading means freezing. Fluency is not about how much you know. It is about how fast your brain can find what it knows. And that speed only builds through repetition. This is why 10 minutes of Korean speaking every single day is way more effective than 2 hours of studying once a week. Right now, write down 10 Korean sentences you would say in a real Korean conversation. Normal things like what you ate, where you went, how you feel, and say each one of those 20 times out loud today. Not in your head, but out loud. When those 10 sentences come out fast, you do 10 more. And that is how you build a library that loads instantly under pressure. I want to talk about something most Korean learners feel but almost never say out loud. A big part of the phrasing is not about language at all. It is the voice in your head that says, what if I say it wrong? What if they don't understand me? What if my accent sounds strange? I will speak when my Korean is better. So you stay quiet and the phrasing gets worse because the muscles you need to speak are never being used. Here's what I want you to hear. Making mistakes is not a sign you're failing at Korean. It is the actual mechanism of how speaking improves. Think about how a child learns to walk. They fall, they get up, they try again. Nobody teaches a child to walk by showing them a good video of how people walk or give them textbook. They learn by trying and falling and adjusting. The learners I've seen improve fastest are never the ones who make the fewest mistakes. They're the ones who are comfortable making the most mistakes in the shortest amount of time. Wrong Korean spoken out loud is worth more than perfect Korean that stays quiet. It's okay to be imperfect. That's when the words start to come out. And here's the thing, knowing this is one thing, and actually doing it is another. This is exactly why every week inside my free Korean community, I post a speaking challenge, one speaking prompt, and you record yourself answering it in Korean and post it in the comments. Not because it will be perfect, because it will not be perfect. And that is the entire point. Every recording you post is a mistake waiting to be corrected. And every correction you receive is one fewer mistake you will make next time. I personally reply to every single recording with exactly what to fix and the right version to practice. Other members reply to each other too, so you're never just talking to yourself. The challenge for this is already posted. Link is in the description. Come and make your first mistake. Even if you understand everything I just said, here's what most learners do. They finish watching this video and they think, okay, I'll practice speaking more. I will start tomorrow, or maybe this weekend. I just need to find the right time. And then nothing changes because understanding why you phrase does not stop the phrasing, right? A daily system stops the phrasing. You need three things every single day. One, a prompt, something specific to speak about. Without this, you sit down to practice and your brain says, what do I even say? And you go back to starting instead. Two, a speaking attempt out loud, not in your head. The physical act of producing Korean is the practice. Your mouth needs the repetition, not just your brain. Three, feedback. Somebody who knows Korean tells you one specific thing to fix and shows you the right version. You repeat the right version immediately. This is how bad habits get replaced before they become automatic. 5 minutes of this loop every day is enough to feel different in 30 days. But it has to be every day. Consistency is the most important thing of all of this. Let me tell you about one of my students. She had been learning Korean for over a year and she studied every single day. She knew her grammar, she knew her vocabulary, but every time someone spoke Korean to her, her mind went blank. And she would think, I know this. Why is nothing coming out? I studied this. She came to me not because she needed more Korean, but she needed repetition with feedback. So every day for 10 days, she sent me a recording And every day I replied with one correction and the right version. Every day she repeated it, and by day 7, she said something I still think about. She said, "It stopped feeling like something I have to force. It just started happening naturally." So, if you're watching this video and you recognize yourself in any of these 5 reasons, the answer is not to study more Korean. The answer is to start speaking. Make mistakes, get corrected, repeat the right version, and come back tomorrow. That's it. Link is in the description. Come and get started.